Hello, everybody, and welcome back to VtM Shadows of New York. We're gonna keep having fun at a party we're not invited to.
He's almost here.
Shining even more brightly than usual, Aisling. I adore your outfit, Samira. I wish the prince allowed the same amount of effort for me.
I, for one, am glad she didn't. I particularly love those horns.
Thank you for reminding me. I put them on at the prince's behest, but I believe she's had more than enough fun.
No, not yet. Ah, well, this will do for now. But you're not off the hook yet. I paid a costly price to see you like this.
Both Kadir and the prince's voices are strained whenever they attempt humor. Their minds are obviously elsewhere, and it's not a happy place. Arturo, on the other hand, seems calm. We all celebrate our power in different ways, I suppose. Now, what is this about?
Just a moment. Over here, Addison!
The Camarilla's infamous spokesman approaches, pushed towards us in a wheelchair by his servant. You want to be Payne's servant, or should I? Actually, you should be Payne's servant. I'm doing a lot of voices already. You.
I was gonna say, Helen, everyone, I certainly hope this is something important.
What a commanding tone. Seeing as Payne can't communicate normally, his servant relays his words to us instead, and he's posh and snobby enough to make me believe I'm listening to his master's voice.
Carter won't be joining us.
He gave me fair warning he might not make it tonight. I messaged him the details.
I'll have to find time to meet him later. Finding time, searching for lost time, I swear it's all I do nowadays. And there's never enough.
I guess now you understand why I insisted that this event must last all week. So many esteemed guests, many of them from out of town, each deserving at least a few hours.
The figure in the wheelchair waves his hand impatiently.
Yes, let's get to the chase now, shall we? That might be the wisest course of action, my prince.
Arturo?
My prince, everyone, let me begin by stressing these important points. The situation is largely under control. The negotiations are underway, and the situation is more tense than dangerous. We are safe. Let me repeat, we are safe. And with that out of the way, here's the big news. Baron Callahan, de facto leader of the Anarchs in New York City, met his final death in his office tonight.
How did you find out? Oh, we have a good friend near his office. The intel is as accurate as it gets.
We've also established a negotiation channel with the Anarchs. They gave us all the confirmation we needed. Was our court involved in his destruction? I look at her in disbelief. So does everyone else. Not that the same thought hasn't passed through my head, but to simply exclaim it like that. Oh, spare me the virtual signaling. I thought we were being transparent here. I don't give a damn if we took care of Callahan or not. I just want to have a clear idea of what I'm dealing with.
Yes, a clear answer. I need that too.
To my knowledge,
Post haste.
none of us present here ordered his destruction. Nor did we participate in it. Unless someone wants to confess, it's now or never.
Of course, nobody speaks up. Arturo pretends to clear his throat. That's our official position as well. The Camarilla's ruling body had nothing to do with it, and for all intents and purposes, his Anarch contenders had more interest in removing him than we did. That interest is sure to manifest in one way now. His former enemies will prop him up as a martyr for the cause. Yes, which is why we sadly can't just leave the Anarchs to their own devices. As much as we'd like to avoid recognizing their sect in any way, we've offered to assist them in an official investigation. Addison Payne's wrinkled face contorts slightly.
Let me just ask you one question. You do realize those curs have no respect for our traditions, yes?
We do, Addison, but as a veteran politician, you should be deeply familiar with the words controlled opposition.
Yes, for now, it's impossible to fully contain the anarch threat in New York. For now, our only option is to prop up a candidate who will offer the least resistance to our future plans for the city. We extend our hand to the most promising contender, give him a way to present himself as a diplomat, a man of reasonable compromise. The rabble falls in line. The purists grow angry and alienated.
We've already contacted the best possible person in their sect. He will oversee the investigation, and it's in his best interest to show he's able to resolve the situation calmly. Is that good enough?
Addison ponders the question for a while, then waves his hand again.
It is. Proceed.
Funny thing, nobody's paying any attention to me right now. Keep in mind, Mr. Payne, our man's people will still barely tolerate us, and the situation is volatile. The other factions within that sorry excuse for a sect may still try to escalate the conflict.
Sorry,
Okay.
my cat. Yeah, I will do my best to solve the situation as fast as possible.
How so? Kadir is momentarily taken back by Arturo's question.
I volunteer to coordinate the case with the Anarchs, of course.
I refuse. You have more important duties to focus on. Like me.
To face on.
Once more, Kadir is stunned.
All due respect, Prince, but if you don't consider me capable of tackling this issue and attending my usual duties at the same time, I think you gravely underestimate me.
Your penchant for working yourself to the bone is well known and appreciated by everyone in this room, Sheriff. But so is your perfectionism. If we do grant your wish and let you investigate while still fulfilling your routine obligations, can you guarantee you're going to give both these tasks your best?
I can guarantee doing something very close to my best.
Close to your best doesn't cut it, Alasmai. Not when the vultures are out in force. Callahan's destruction is sure to cause unrest among the Anarchs, and there's an obvious outlet for their pent-up rage.
I want to make this perfectly clear. The celebrations will continue as planned, no matter what. This is why your presence here is absolutely necessary, Sheriff. We rely on your constant protection.
Of course, my prince, we must be on constant vigil for a few days. Alasmai's sword must be constantly pointed at the enemies surrounding us. The timing of the Baron's destruction is impeccable. The Anarch leaders are sure to point at us and claim we're shamelessly celebrating his end. Does anybody believe this is just a coincidence?
Murders are messy. Almost as messy as politics. It's impossible to reliably predict the outcome of any violent action. I think it'd be wise for us to brace for a lot of unfortunate coincidences, I think.
In any case, the rabble can't get the impression that their power struggles are of great concern to us. But they also can't think we have something to hide, which brings me to my point. We do need a symbolic gesture, one displaying expertly measured intensity. My best bet is a humble diplomatic envoy, a low-level official acting as investigator of sorts. Oh, gee.
That's gonna be us.
Wow.
I implore you, Prince.
Kadir?
He bites his tongue and struggles to collect himself. I rarely see him lose his temper, at least where the Camarilla is involved. What's going on?
I wonder about your suggestion for this role. After all, it's not particularly prestigious, but carries a lot of responsibility. We're still talking about a Camarilla representative.
Oh, I think there's a very obvious candidate. Both he and Kadir look at me simultaneously. Everyone else in the room does too. Fuck. Now, wait a second. He can't possibly mean... Miss Julia! Once again, your full name eludes me at the moment. Am I allowed to speak? Or maybe I should wait for permission? Before I make up my mind, the sheriff sighs deeply and speaks up.
Sowinski.
Miss Julia Sowinski, right. I understand you used to be an investigative journalist before your embrace. That's correct. Among others, the Banu Hakim Primogen insisted that you are worthy of greater privileges and should be given a chance to prove yourself. Samira measures Arturo with suspicion.
Yes?
Do you still think she's capable? She looks me deep in the eye. I swear she's trying to telepathically tell me, please, please, please don't fuck this up, you dumbass little white girl. Of course. Good! And I'm sure that you, as I, have no problem with your protege embarking on this mission, save for the pain a mother feels when watching her child leave the nest.
Whether I do or don't is not particularly important right now, is it?
It absolutely is. Panhard's backing of Arturo momentarily blindsides him.
Prince Panhard,
If Arturo's plan is reckless, I want you to tell me. I need a simple yes or no. Is the girl capable? Now he knows he's left with no choice.
I wouldn't trust her with all the responsibilities that I have if she wasn't.
He exchanges glances with me, but his look is different than Samira's. It's as if he's trying to apologize to me. Here we are, then. A recommendation from the Banu Hakim Primogen and the Sheriff. To tell you the truth, I was just throwing out ideas. But with this backing, I can't doubt the Night Clan's representative will get the job done. I'm certain each of us feels the same. Mr. Payne. The atmosphere in the room mostly suggests people are glad they don't have to discuss the topic further. A shrug here and a furtive gaze there.
I don't know why, but I can't help but imagine him sounding like the Godfather pigeon.
Fucking great.
It is as you say. I will watch the way she handles the situation with great interest.
Well then, Miss Sawinski, looks like you've got your chance for a big break.
Nobody asked what I think. I have conditions. Those are both really bad.
I feel like I should, but they're just gonna shut me down. But I don't want to seem too eager, you know?
Up to you, man. I think it's a bad idea, but
Big break doesn't mean much by itself. All I see is a big responsibility being placed on my shoulders. What do I stand to gain here exactly? Even though I'd normally jump at the chance to be useful, I play it cool. All of a sudden, not only everyone acknowledges my existence, but believes I can handle solving a tense criminal case? If something seems too good to be true... Let's not be vulgar now. You stand to improve your standing in the court. Yes, we can discuss...
Your reward will be brownie points. Ooh.
Yeah, seriously. We can discuss the particulars based on your performance. Yeah, they don't plan on giving me shit. Figures. It's not like I can refuse, but this is something I need to take into account while taking care of the case. I need a bargaining
if you do
position.
extra well, you'll get a token of our gratitude.
Yeah, I'll do it. Just point me in the right direction and tell me what to do. Excellent! That leaves us with only one more matter, which I hope we can agree on. Prince Panhard signals someone with their hand. The figure emerges from behind the corner. Hey, it's Catherine! Good evening.
Catherine, what a pleasant surprise. Nobody informed us you were in town.
Addison, looking healthier than ever.
And what does Weiss have to do with it?
We need an impartial observer who everyone respects, and as it happens, Catherine always knew how to make friends on both sides without angering either.
I beg to differ.
I'll be grateful if, just for once, you decide against throwing a tantrum about me, High Regent.
A painful grimace crosses Aisling's face, but she's quick to interrupt the taunt as an invitation to a game she can't possibly win. As long as she can prove herself useful to the proceedings in some way. If half of what I've heard from Mr. Vanderveden is true, she should be able to.
And what did poor Carter say about me this time?
Nothing specific.
One always has to read between the lines with him, but it was mostly envy.
Ms. Weiss gracefully agreed to mediate between the Anarch representative and the La Sombra representative, ensuring mutual cooperation and mitigating potential conflicts. That felt like a Freudian slip. La Sombra representative, not Camarilla representative, i.e. someone who can be catapulted from the sector that much damage to the Ivory Tower if they mess up? Is there a meeting set up? Arturo looks at the clock on the other side of the room. In less than an hour. You'd better hurry then. What the hell? All this is happening so fast.
If the situation is indeed under control, I will drive her and oversee the situation.
Out of the question. You've got your orders, Sheriff. Attend to those.
You fool, the girl needs guidance.
And we need yours. Nobody knows what might happen next.
But
It's not as if the Adrox have a lot of love for you, Alice. You're too efficient in your duties for them to tolerate you. Better spare Miss Sawinski having them see you two together.
Do you think my guidance of Julia would be lacking, Kadir?
I never said that.
So, do you have any objections to putting her under my care?
He lowers his gaze, but seems reassured.
None whatsoever.
That's all I needed to hear. We'll be going then. Wasting no time as usual, I see. Have you at least tried the aperitifs? Waiting is an old person's game, Helen. I still feel young. Remember, if there's anything you need help with. Probably not, but I appreciate the thought nevertheless. Have a great night, everyone. I'll catch up with you later, Addison.
I certainly hope you do.
And so we leave, in a rush. Funny, considering what she told me about being in a hurry yesterday.
We're here.
She thanks the chauffeur and lets me out of the car into a quiet neighborhood somewhere in Queens. Aw, yeah, Spider-Man, represent!
Seems like you were in a rush. I couldn't stand the crowd.
She's honest. Probably performatively so. Just to get into my good graces. Well, it's working. And why is that?
In my experience, gatherings like those always enable the boring pack mentality. All the familiar lies we tell ourselves to justify lusting for more, repeated ad nauseum.
No, you bring it up, Spider-Man just makes me think how Blade would handle Vampire the Masquerade. I mean, he would probably have a respect for Kadir. You know, it's like he's there to keep the peace, and he's just like, alright, fine.
Maybe.
Just a begrudging. It was like, oh yeah, if you don't, like, you keep your people in line, or I will cut them down. If you don't deal with them yourselves.
Yeah, I could kind of see that, but he'd also probably just... He'd probably just make an enemy of the Camarilla before he even got to meet Kadir. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Anyway, let's see.
No, actually, I don't know. Kadir is the sheriff, so he probably would meet him when he's going after a vampire who's recklessly murdering people.
Or high up enough to catch attention. Yeah.
Speaking of lies, you seem honest, but yesterday you told me not to rush. And I stand by it. Do as I say, not as I do. And that's the best advice I can give you. I definitely need more advice than that. Back at the art hole, you said something about guiding me, but I have zero idea what to do. None whatsoever. I had a few necessary arrangements to make over the phone before we got to here to ensure your pretty little head stays attached to your neck. For now, anyway. I am grateful, but I still feel way out of my depth. I need to know what to do. You used to make a living as an investigative journalist, did you not? Investigate the murder.
In TV shows where the investigative journalist gets too close to the head of a politically incendiary case, it rarely goes well. A cat's head on their porch, a bullet to the head. So, are you afraid you might be a pawn in a game you don't understand? Yeah. That your elders consider you a disposable asset? That a single wrong move might cost you everything you hold dear? That sounds about right, yeah.
Well, by the sound of it, you understand your situation perfectly. Don't belittle me. I need your advice. Be anything you want, but don't be boring, Julia. If I wanted to belittle you, I would have drowned you in platitudes long ago. Know thyself. Believe in your strength. Trust no one. Act confident. Turn the chessboard round, and read your opportunities mind. Read Sun Tzu and quote him incessantly. Say, do you feel any better now? Can I ask you something? Seeing as Mia's still not here, of course. Do you know who killed Baron Callahan? I haven't the slightest idea. Were you emotionally impacted by his death? Not at all. Did you know him? Only passingly, I'm afraid. I expected him to perish sooner than later, so I never bothered to improve our relationship. Why are you helping me? Am I? That remains to be seen. What do you mean? You do not want a painfully honest answer. But I do. She stares me down. Her irreverent tone makes it impossible to guess what she's feeling. Even more so than the mask. When I look at you, I see someone pitiful. Someone whose hunger is purely biological. Just an animalistic rush. When I saw the burgeoning plan to put you in a situation that was way beyond capabilities, I offered my help. I was curious to see your true colors reveal themselves firsthand.
Oh well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.
Adios.